what's ironic about that statement, that objection by Muslims, is that the Quran itself says that Allah prays. The God of the Muslims prays according to the Quran.
Right.
There are 3 specific verses in the Quran, and since you're studying Arabic, I'll give you the verses, ask your Arabic tutor to confirm what I'm about to say. In fact, I even have an article on this subject, Allah worshipping. Who does he worship? Well, the passages are, and I'll just give them to you. You can note them, and I'll just maybe read one for the sake of time. Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2 of the Quran, verse 157. Chapter 2, verse 157. Chapter 33 of the Quran, the 33rd chapter, verses 43 and 56. Chapter 33, verses 43 and 56. Now, in chapter 2, verse 157, this is what it says. There are those on whom are the prayers from their Lord and mercy. The Arabic word prayers is salawatun, where we get the word salawat. However, Muslim translators do not translate the Arabic literally. They translate it as blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Ask the Arabic tutor to confirm this point.
Oh, I can read it well enough to see salah there, so that's
yeah,
not a question.
Salawat.
Mm-hmm.
Here it's saying that Allah's prayers are upon the faithful. That's what it says. So if they have a problem with Jesus Christ, our Lord, praying to the Father, which is no problem to us because we're Trinitarians, one eternal being, shared eternally by 3 distinct persons, and these persons relate to each other, communicate to one another, etc., then they should definitely have a problem with their God praying, because he's supposed to be unipersonal. Therefore, who does he pray to when he prays for Muslims?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I don't know. To this day, I'm trying to find a clear answer. I haven't. And the other passage, which is my favorite, is 33, verse 56. And if you have it
there you have it. A Christian missionary, Sam Shamoun, claiming the Quran teaches us that Allah prays. And what does Sam Shamoun bring to support his claim? He brings his own translation of the Quran to support his claim. What he does, effectively, he pushes away the experts in the language and makes his claim. And he expects us to believe his inadequate Arabic is sufficient to correct the expert translators. Now, Shamoun basically builds his claim on a conspiracy theory. He intimates a conspiracy theory as all the Muslim expert translators, according to him, are translating it incorrectly. Okay, Sam, but Sam Shamoun somehow, conveniently, forgets to tell us the Christian missionary, Rodwell, disagrees with Shamoun's translation, as Rodwell translates the verses in the same way as the Muslim translators. He forgets to tell us Arbery, who is endorsed by the Christian evangelist Robert Morey, disagrees with Shamoun and agrees with Muslim translators. He forgets to point to the fact that George Sale does the same. Sale disagrees with Shamoun and agrees with the Muslim translators. You can see a pattern developing here. However, if Shamoun genuinely felt there was an issue of disagreement concerning the Arabic words used, then why did he not bother to do the sensible and scholarly thing and consult an authoritative lexicon? Surely, if he really wanted an answer, he would have done so. It doesn't take much in the way of scholarly endeavor to open up a dictionary. Why did he not bother to do so? I've done it for him. I've opened up Lane's lexicon. Edward William Lane. His lexicon is derived from the best and most copious Eastern sources. You don't get much more authoritative than Lane's lexicon. So, does this expert in the field of Arabic agree with Sam Shamoun's claim? No. Perhaps that is why Sam Shamoun did not refer to him. From Lane's lexicon, we learn that the word in question, salah, once it is said of Allah, it does not refer to Allah praying, but refers to Allah blessing, or having mercy, or magnifying, or conferring honor on somebody or bodies. Nowhere does Lane agree with Sam Shamoun. Lane agrees with the expert translators that I have mentioned. So Sam Shamoun is quite simply wrong and bringing stuff of conjecture to the table. Lane goes further. He even uses one of the Quranic verses that Shamoun brings up as an example. He translates the word used as magnification, and he states the verse means, verily God and his angels magnify the Prophet. Nowhere does he say that God prays or Allah prays. Remember that. Lane also agrees that the word bless would be better used in the translation, as this rendering implies magnification too. So effectively, Lane, the expert, is agreeing with the Muslim translators and the translators that I have mentioned, and is disagreeing with Shamoun's unauthorized claims. So what we see here is the experts in the field of Arabic disagree with Shamoun's bizarre claim. Thus it is clear Allah does not pray, and the Muslim translators are correct, and Shamoun's claims are incorrect. Shamoun's shoddy scholarship. No early Muslim agrees with Shamoun. To gauge early Muslim opinion, you open up tafsir literature. Al-Tustari's tafsir, which I deduct to be a source material for Lane, explains all three verses in question. All three verses in question. But for some reason, our self-appointed Quran translator, Sam Shamoun, did not even bother to look into this. I wonder why. Well, once you look at it, you see that Shamoun's claims are scuppered. Al-Tustari explains the word used in the second chapter, salawat, as meaning a bestowal of mercy. Yes, you guessed it, he disagrees with Sam Shamoun again. That is all. A bestowal of mercy, not Allah praying. The same applies for the two verses in chapter 33. Al-Tustari disagrees with Sam Shamoun again. He points them to be blessings which refer to forgiveness. So Allah is forgiving, not praying. Ibn Kathir pours further refutation on Shamoun's shoddy work. He points to Al-Aliya's explanation of Allah's salah, referring to Allah praising Muhammad before the angels. He also points to Sufyan al-Thawri's explanation, which is an explanation shared by other scholars too. Allah's salah here is referring to Allah's mercy. As simple as that. So essentially the audience is asked to choose between Sam Shamoun's shoddy scholarship and Muslim expert translators, the lexicon, the commentators, and the early Muslims. It's an easy choice, right? Nobody of any scholarly capacity is going to side with Sam Shamoun. Shamoun is awfully lonely in his little corner of misinformation. I have addressed Shamoun's written work on this issue. Now, whilst doing so, I must say this: it became apparent that this extends beyond Shamoun's lack of scholarship. It really does. It's not just a case of Sam Shamoun being out of his depth. It points to Shamoun's deliberate misdirection of his audience and intellectual dishonesty. The article that I have produced to counter his article points to Shamoun's deliberate distortions with regards to his misdirection related to Palmer's translation and willful manipulation of scholarly difference. This was a case of abysmal, and I repeat, abysmal intellectual dishonesty. These are not light charges, Sam. Take this seriously. It is high time Sam Shamoun developed a scholarly backbone. Now, a friendly piece of advice to White would be for White to be more reserved when it comes to making comments of ambiguity related to Shamoun, which may be construed as endorsing Shamoun's error-laden work. White states Shamoun's knowledge of the Quran is vast. Clearly, White is not familiar with Shamoun's past misdemeanors. Shamoun not only does he make a mistake here, but in the past he made his own translation of the Quran up in order to present Islam as a religion which allows bestiality. Go figure. Now, I leave the rest in White's capable hands. I am hopeful he will admonish Shimon and rectify the situation immediately by either removing the misinformation from circulation or appending some sort of disclaimer to make certain nobody is misdirected by Sam Shimon's pronouncements.